Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use one form to communicate with another form. Basically, you can display a kind of a child form from a parent form, which is a basic requirement for your course project. Okay, I will demonstrate how to do this using an example. I'm going to create a new project. Well, just call it demo. Okay, and in this demo project, I'm going to just use let's see, not web form, it's not web application. We're gonna use a V. Hold on, I think I created the wrong project. Let me see. Gonna be a Windows project, so you have to be very careful when you create your applications. So I'm going to just use the Windows Form application demo. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just to create a basic form with nothing, probably just a button on it. And then when I click the button, a second form will be displayed. And then I can do anything that is required on the second form. Okay, so for your project, you're gonna create random questions, mathematical questions for the player to answer. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to put a button here, toolbox button. This can be from a menu item or whatever, anything that can be associated with a method. So basically, any Windows form control can be used to start the second form. So for this one, I'm just call it let's see, text show. Okay. So to show a second form, we need to have a second form. So we need to create the form first. So I'm going to right click on the project name and choose a new item. Where's new? Right click, add new Windows form. Okay. I can call this form 2 or a child form. I'm just call it child. So now I just want to show you how to bring up this child form. Okay, so we will take the step-by-step approach from easy to complexity. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just to go to the code view, double click here. When the button is clicked, I'm going to create a new child. Child is an class, so I can create an object of this. This is called a constructor. So when this is called, a new object of the child form I just created will be displayed. Show. Okay. So that's it. A new is a keyword to create a new object from the class child, and then this object will have a method called show, and we activate this method, the form will be displayed, because by default the child form is hidden, so we have to call this method to bring it up to the screen. So now I just check whether it is working. It's kind of slow. Okay, now my form is here. When I click show, a new form should be displayed. Okay, it is here. Okay, I can just close it. Okay, now we know how to bring a second form from a parent form. Okay, and then now we need to do something on the child form. So we go to the child form, and you can do whatever you want. For example, you can just let's say, well, we'll just create a question here. Maybe just make it a little bit, make your life a little bit easier. So this will be very similar to your project. I hate to do this, but well, I'll give you a break. So what we need to do is just to create two label, right? Because I just want to display the numbers that will be random number. Okay, label. Okay, label 1. I'm gonna copy and paste another label. Actually, one label is enough. So I will display the question on this label. Then I need to have a text box for the users to put the answer in the text box, right? Okay, I'm gonna make this label a little bit bigger, the font. Okay, size is 8. Let's make it 16. Okay, big enough. This is also 16. Font. Okay, now we can see it better. Okay, let's adjust the size. This will be our question. So now I also need a button to submit it, right? So button here. I call it submit. Okay, once the user answers the question, the button will be clicked, and then the answer will be graded, and this child form should disappear. That's what should happen. Okay, now let's see how to implement this. So as soon as this child form is displayed, a random question should be shown on the form. So this will happen in the method called form load. We double click anywhere on the form, and a method will be created called child load. This is the method that will be executed whenever the form is shown for the first time. Okay, so we want the question to be displayed as soon as the child form is loaded. And first we need to have a random object. Let's just say R new random. Okay. For now, we just want to, before we fully implement the requirements I described earlier, let's just check it for every critical step to make sure that it is correct before we move on to the further. So for now, I just want to show that this let's say the random number, it can be generated when the form is loaded. Okay, just for one single random number. So what I can do is this label 1.text to r.next. This next will generate a random number. There are several implementations for this next. For now, let's just show the string. Okay. So because this is a number, you cannot just display it on the text label. So you have to convert it to a string type so that it can be displayed on the text. So now let's check again. A random number should be displayed every time it is. Okay, random number. I close it. See, 195. Second time, it should be a different number, 106. Okay, now the thing is that this number is too big. We want to control the range of the random number. How do we do that? Okay, now let's go back to this next method. Okay, next. You can see we can choose different implementation of this next function. This is called a function overloading. So basically, you can put different parameters inside the parentheses to have a different effect of this function. Okay, if it is empty, it will be the the maximum possible. That's a 32th power, which is too big, or 16th power. Okay, can't remember it, but that's the largest ever for an integer. You want to make sure that the random number is within the range for your problem. Okay, so for example, we want a random number between 0 and 100. Okay, now we have this. Let's just check again. So every time it will generate a number between 0 and 100. You see. Okay, so it is working. Now we can move on. So well, there's something else. Now it is just an integer. We can also generate a real number. It will a method called next double. Okay. Next double will generate a floating point number, real number with the decimals points. And the thing is that you can also control the range of this double number by timing it with the range that you want. For example, it is you want to have a let's see, you want to keep 2 digits or 1 digit, 2 digits on the well, first let's see what's the double number. Okay, to be it's just a fraction. Okay, so it's always 0 point something. It's less than that, between 0 and 1. Okay, so that's the next double. What next double can produce. So if we want to keep the whole number part, with 1 digit, you want to time it with 10, right? So you time it with 10. Now you have a real number between 0 and 0 and let's see, and 2. No, 0 and 10. 0 and 10, right? That will be a 0 and 10. Now you have to close this so that you can call this toString method, because this is the number that you want to convert it to a string type. So you have to put everything inside the parentheses so that the program can treat it as a single unit. Okay, now let's check again. Show, okay, now it's 2 point something, and then another one, 2.8, 8.9. So it is truly random. Every time you can get a completely different number, and you never know what number it's gonna be. Okay, so now we can do this, and what I want to do is to create a question, right? So I will get numbers first. Number A equals r dot next double times 10. Okay, and double B r dot next double times 10. So 2 real numbers. Okay, then I wanted to create the question and put it on the label. So it's gonna be like this: A plus, okay, this is the mathematical operator. It can be anything, minus, plus, times, multiply, and just for now we can just, okay, oh, it's gonna be too hard maybe, just the plus first. Okay, plus B and equals equal, where is it, equals p plus default. Okay, this will be the question. Let's see how it looks. So, okay, oh, it is too big. We want to keep the decimal, the number of the fraction part. Okay, we can keep it as 2 digits. How do we do that? That is necessary because this will be too complicated for a beginner's game. Okay, and what we can do is to round this. Okay, round this whole thing to double dot round. Oh no, mass. There's a class called mass. Okay, round. And this is our decimal. The first parameter is decimal, and the second one will be how many digits you want to keep. Okay. Same thing for this one. To mass dot round. Okay. So now let's check. It will have a 2 digits after the floating point. Okay, perfect. Now we can actually do this question. Okay, 2.81, right? 2.81. Now, when we click submit button, it should grade this answer and then shut down this form automatically. Okay, how do we do that? Then that's the next step. We need to have a method for this submit button. Okay, so I want to create a method for this. So how do we grade it? This is a little bit more complicated than you thought. Okay. Because we have to know the correct answer, but we don't know the number. How do we figure out the correct answer? Every number is random. So although it appears random, but for the computer it is not. Anyway, even if it is random, the computers keep track of it. So we can let the computer calculate the correct answer first, then compare the correct answer with the user's input, then we can grade it. Okay, so after this question is displayed, actually we can calculate the correct answer, but we also need to keep the correct answer outside. We need to create a private data member for that. Private double key, right? This will be our enter key for the question. We have to put it outside because we want to share this information between the methods. So in the form load, we're gonna set the key, and in the button click method, we're gonna access the key. We're gonna look at what the key is. So key goes to A plus B. And we also need to round it because we it could become 3. Well, we don't have to. But anyway, let's make a rule. We always want the user to input a number with 2 digits after the floating point. So what we can do is to call this method again, A plus B, and okay. Now we can get the user's input. If first we need to get the user's let's say x equal this dot text box dot text dot this need to be double dot convert. parse. This method will convert a string type into a double type. We can compare this x with the p. X is same as the p. We're gonna say something. Message box show. Let's say congrats. Right? Else wrong, right? Message box show. Sorry. Wrong. Say wrong. Incorrect. And after all this, we need to let the form disappear. So this close. This method called close. Okay. This form will disappear. Compose itself and it's gone. Okay. Let's check. Show. Okay, now I just put anything. Okay, you gotta say incorrect. Okay, it's gone. Again, let's actually do this one. Well, it's complicated. 6.41, right? 6.41. Congrats. Yeah, I did. So this is how you bring up a second form and then do something on the form. Okay, I hope this helps.